Hey, what up guys, it's Mitsuownes from Germany. In today's video, I'll be talking about sponsoring and sponsors in general. I mean, it's probably one of the most, if not the most, overused term of the fighting game community. And I decided, hey, let's talk about that. And first off, let me explain what a sponsor really is by pretty much like breaking the term down. Um, like a sponsor, like usually, is someone or something, like a company, for example, with financial possibilities that can pay or who can pay for you partially or fully. So, like when we talk about the fighting game community, for example, that would be like registration for the tournaments, the flight, the gas cost, the hotel, and so on. Yeah, like for example, everyone pretty much can do that. Like everyone can sponsor technically. Like as long as you have the money, you can sponsor someone, something, etc. But what about legit sponsoring? Because hey, Mitsuownes Afro promotion pretty much can sponsor. Like I could, just search someone who I like maybe, and then say, hey, will you play for me? All right, Mitsuownes Productions, Afro Promotions, and I would sponsor him. Maybe get him to a tournament. Let's say I pay for everything, like the flight, the hotel, the registration fee, and then yeah, then what? Let's say I make a deal with him that I get like 20% of his winnings, and he gets bodied in pools. I lost like everything, pretty much. All right, let's say I do that again. He loses again, so that's what, over 1,000 probably, depending on where the tournament is, and that does not make me a legit sponsor. Like Mitsuownes Afro Promotions will go bankrupt because that's not a real business. Like I don't have any earnings, especially if I'm only like depending on the player, which is not legit. So yeah, I could sponsor, but I would not be a legit sponsor just because I have the money. With that being said, let's say for example EVB, who just the group just not broke up, but like yeah, they couldn't hold it anymore. And I'm not saying they weren't legit because the sponsoring itself was legit, and I'm very happy that they were so open about pretty much everything. Like EVB, you could like ask the players everything, the CEOs like Mama EVB. That was really cool. Like they had nothing to hide, and they got sponsored. They got paid for like the tournament fees, gas, the flights, everything. And like I said, I'm not saying they weren't sponsoring, but unfortunately, and I don't mean any disrespect while saying that, they didn't really have a business. Like they didn't have like a product that they were pretty much like promoting, like for example a stick or a supplement, anything like that, like something that you can actually monetize. And here comes the tough part. That was 100% their passion, 100%. Like they had jobs, and on top of that they tried to build like this whole group. And hey, it was working for like what, 16 months. And last time I talked with them, with Mava EVB actually, that was a few months before Evo, I believe, and they said from their own pocket they have already like had expenses over $10,000 from their pocket, like without like having legit like incomes, like apart from their jobs obviously. But like when we're talking about the group itself, the EVB, they didn't really have an income. That's why like obviously they couldn't hold it anymore. And I gotta say props to them for like 100% like sticking with their guns and doing that for so long while they having so many expenses. And I mean, especially with like I said, that was like what, half a year ago when I heard about those 10K. And don't forget, they added Dragon, who also went to Evo and stuff. And then we had, I think, two other majors with EVB members in it. So that was probably way over like 13,000. So props to them, absolutely. And I don't really think necessarily that that was a bad decision to like. I don't think like they're dead for good. Like hey, don't forget Injustice 2 is coming up, and it's not rated M, so I think it will get way easier to get like involved with the esports and partners and sponsors in general. So let them recover. Oh, let them recover for now, and hopefully they will make their return with Injustice 2. I mean, they were so Like the players and the team, like the crew, they were all so genuinely like nice and stuff. I really hope they will make their return. But I also believe that they were not taking like the earnings from the players, and that's another thing. That's not necessarily bad when the sponsor or your sponsor is taking earnings. Like you just like I said, you gotta see the whole business model. Is it worth it? I mean, for example, let's say I win Evo, right? Most likely, I will get approached by a lot of so-called sponsors, maybe completely new ones, like names you never heard of. So who is winning from that deal at the end? Probably them, because they're using my fame and my reach to promote themselves. Like, yeah, usually there is nothing wrong with it. I mean, Roger Federer, for example, has Wilson, and Wilson is getting a lot of that, but vice versa. So you always gotta see, is this worth it, or am I actually losing at the end? And 100% like they're using me, like 100% I'm not getting like enough back. Is this worth it? For example, we saw this during the ESL seasons, the Mortal Kombat X ESL seasons. You had so many new names, so-called sponsors, approaching people like with templates and over Twitter and over email and over the ESL site. So many new names all of a sudden, and it's just it's kind of sad, to be honest, to see, because like some new people maybe to the FGC, or young people for example, they get approached and they get like this shiny new email and stuff, and they think, yes, I finally made it, I am sponsored now, and all they get is like what, a banner, a Twitter banner, maybe an access to a TeamSpeak server. Do you know what I mean? Like, that's not sponsoring. That is not sponsoring. That is to the utmost. That's a team. That can be a team. And for example, you always got to see, like, only because someone has a tag in front of his name does not mean they're sponsored. Let's say P&D, for example. Madsen, Ketchup, Mustard, so many other players. That's not a sponsor. That's a team. They're like finding new tag, for example, the training, for example, together, and yeah, that's their thing, and that's a good thing. But they're not claiming to be a sponsor, so that's absolutely nothing wrong with that. That's actually good. But don't think that just because they have a handle and the tag before their name, that's a sponsor. So I mean, and I mean, we see this with so many people, so many groups. You always gotta see, what exactly am I getting from this? Because when you think like that, we don't have so many legit sponsors after all. And I mean, I am very grateful for the things we have currently, because in NK9 we didn't have any of this, and that's what I'm not trying to say like the all new guys, or the people, the groups, the clans, the teams that are trying don't do it, and don't try. That's not what I'm saying at all. But what I'm saying is, don't fall for this bait from so many teams that are claiming that they are sponsors. Because at the end of the day, you will get disappointed. If you're looking for a team, hey, great. There's so many teams out there looking for people, like online clans. That's absolutely cool. Like people to train with, maybe online tournaments for fun. It's all good. But if you are looking for a sponsor, you gotta watch out, because there are a lot of traps and just people who are not willing to hold their words. And like I said, at the end of the day, you will not get what you maybe deserve, or at the least what you want and what you expect. Do you know what I mean? Yeah, I think that's pretty much it. Like, I just hope, and I think this is coming, that with Injustice 2 everything will get easier. I mean, like for example, there are a lot of big sponsors in the FGC, but not so many with Mortal Kombat X, especially because, let's be honest, what's the reason for them to like get involved with MKX, especially let's say someone like Red Bull? I don't think they wanna represent their product, because that's like a real sponsor. Why? Because they have money, for example, they have a solid business, obviously, and they have, with that being said, they have that product that you promote as a Red Bull athlete. You promote the Red Bull, and that's why it's sustainable. That's why it works, because there is a product behind it. You are promoting Razer, for example. You are promoting the sticks. Do you know what I mean? Like, that's why it works. EVB, huge shout outs to them, and I really, really appreciate their like their passion and their work that they brought into. But I mean, it was questioned from the start, and like I said, they couldn't like afford it. Like, how many players can you afford to sponsor like that? That will make you bankrupt at some point. So I'm kind of glad that they did this step before they actually hurt themselves privately, because I do not wish that. They were so nice people. Yeah, that's why I said it's tough in general with MKX, but that's what I said. That's why I said hopefully it will get easier. Most likely it will be easier with Injustice 2. I mean, who doesn't like some DC action? I mean, Batman, like Superman, like Flash. I bet that will be an easier matter. And yeah, I think hopefully all will change to the good. Once again, I'm not discouraging anyone to like start the thing. It's a good thing if you start even with a team. But like I said, just don't claim that you are a sponsor. That's like the main issue. Don't claim that you are a sponsor. Don't tell people, new people to the community, that you can sponsor them and stuff. Like, be real with it, what you can offer. Even if you can offer a banner, just, it's okay. Why not? I mean, some people are paying for that, for banners and stuff. But just be real with it, and don't tell them like fantasy stuff that we can actually send you out in tournaments, and then when it comes to the fact that there is a tournament, actually you can't. That's why the best sponsor in the whole FGC and probably in the whole world is yourself. Because if you can afford it, you are sending yourself to the tournaments. You are paying yourself for the flights, for the tournament fee, for all the expenses. That's why you are the most reliable sponsor if you can afford it. And that's why the most important step, if you are searching for a sponsor, I mean, who isn't? If you are, the most important step is actually to like make yourself the brand, for example, first. Like, you got to focus on yourself, market yourself, and actually, like, yeah, like I said, market yourself and make yourself marketable. Because you don't have to be the best. You don't have to be the best at the game. When you're just like a hype guy, maybe a community ambassador, you know so much about the game. You're just a hype person in general. That's what's most important. I mean, you could be the best player in the world and you're a douchebag. I mean, who would like sponsor you? Probably one or two guys, but I don't think like the big people would actually be interested in using you to promote the products, sticks, like supplements, t-shirts, like I said, stuff like this. So if you are looking for a sponsor, work on yourself first, like on your whole mentality. Like, for example, don't like ask yourself, hey, why am I not sponsored yet? I'm over average. I'm better than average. I'm pretty good. Maybe you're bashing the game, for example. Maybe you're bashing the developers. For example, like the whole attitude, the mental attitude is so important in order to get like you gotta get along with people. Do you know what I mean? And that's gonna be tough when people see that you're bashing and raging and all this stuff. So yeah, that was just my 2 cents about the whole sponsor thing. I know it's not an easy topic at all, but it was like a recent one. It's always being used, and yeah, that's just my whole reaction to the EVB stuff, and just in general my thoughts about sponsoring, about teams, and hopefully, like I said, with Injustice 2, we will really get to shine. Because when we are looking, my final thoughts, when we are looking at Mortal Kombat X, I mean, they're having, like, during their big tournaments and like, just in general, like, their stages, it's already tough for them to get sponsors. Because, hey, it's an M4 mature game. That's not really that easy. That's what I'm saying. If they, Warner Bros. And stuff, can really get so many known and big sponsors, how do you expect for us, the players, to get them. Do you know what I mean? That's what I'm saying. With Injustice 2, hopefully, most likely, we can only hope, we can work with that for it. Also, that we will get the recognition that we deserve. Because, for example, EVB, like I said, broke up, and the topic that was all around Twitter and all around social media was Chris T no longer sponsored, left EVB. And it makes you wonder, Chris T, yeah, good player, but what about Dragon? What about Big D? Top 8 finalists at EVO? Why is no one talking about that? And that's what I'm saying. We do not yet get like the recognition we deserve. And with that being said, like I said for the third time, Injustice 2, yes, bring it. Hopefully all will change to the good. That's pretty much it for this video. If you got another opinion, and I know that a lot of you will have other opinions, and that's good. That's good. Because like I said, it's not an easy topic. Please leave them in the comment section. Do you agree? Do you disagree? What do you disagree with? Let me know, because I really like to discuss this topic. And yeah, thank you very much for watching, and I'll catch you guys later. Mitsuownes signing out. Peace.